Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, here to recap Super Bowl 52 as the Philadelphia Eagles get it done. They win their first Super Bowl in franchise history, defeating the New England Patriots 41-33, and I gotta say it, I believe I had this. Now, I did not have it being the score that it was. I did not see this game unfolding the way it did, but the more I did my analysis before this game, it was clear to me the Eagles were going to win this football game because they were the better team. Although I don't even think they really showed it today, especially defensively. But we're going to talk about that later. Let's start though by talking about the Eagles, congratulating them. And look, I don't care who you're a fan of, unless if you're a fan of a team in the NFC East, then you're probably upset. For most of us, this is a good thing, I would think. You know, for me, I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. It is nice knowing that a franchise that has struggled to get it done and win their first Super Bowl got it done tonight. It gives you confidence moving forward that one year, even your team can put it together and get it done. You have to look at two men to me that have built this absolute monster in Philadelphia. Howie Roseman, the general manager, the guy that's been there for years now. He has been building a great team for the past couple of years, and to me, he is without a doubt a top 5, if not top 3 general manager in the NFL. Even in his previous stint as general manager before Chip Kelly, he would bring in talent, man. He's the one that drafted LaShawn McCoy, Jeremy Maclin, and all those great players for the Eagles that they had prior to this current incarnation of the Eagles football team. And he did it again, finding talent yet again, trading for talent, signing talent in free agency, and drafting talent. They've done it all. Great job by him, and great job by the head coach, Doug Peterson, who today showed that, man, he has some balls, as he had some incredible decisions in this football game. Look at the decision to go for it on 4th down at the end of the first half, a decision that, frankly, I would not have made, period. But they had a great play design. It worked out great for them. And then the 4th and 1 play on their own side of the football field in the 4th quarter with 6 minutes to go. Again, a decision I probably would not have made. That one, though, I would have considered more, but I still probably wouldn't even have done that. Good thing I'm not coaching, because he got it done, they got it done. And look, he came out saying, if I'm gonna beat this beast known as the New England Patriots, I'm going to have to go for this thing. I'm going to have to make the plays and do the things and make the decisions that are gonna get us over the top. I can't be conservative. I will not be the Atlanta Falcons of last year. We saw that time and time and time again in this football game. Doug Peterson and Howie Roseman have built this absolute monster of Philadelphia, and I don't think the Eagles are going anywhere anytime soon. Now, I want to calm people down before we start saying, okay, they're gonna be a dynasty, they're building this and that. Let's relax a bit, people. The Seattle Seahawks, who won a Super Bowl, they appeared as if they were gonna be around for a while, and they really weren't. Now, they've been around, they've been a playoff team, they went to another Super Bowl, but they haven't won one since, and now they missed the playoffs this year. But I think this Eagles team should at least be a playoff contender for years, and they should be one of the NFC's better teams for years to come. But again, I'm gonna caution people before we start that, because I know that's the conversation that's gonna start. Are the Eagles building a dynasty? And again, I would just tell you, we had this same conversation about the Seattle Seahawks, and it didn't quite work out. The 49ers, who made it and lost, we had the same conversation about them, and they fell off real quick. It's a nice victory, and you love the fact that you got to the Super Bowl and you freaking won it, right? You got it done. Great for you. Let's start by talking about Nick Foles and the offensive side of the football for the Eagles today. Nick Foles, absolute beast. My goodness, what a performance by Nicholas Foles. 28 of 43, 373 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception by Nick Foles. Now, here's the thing. It was a systematic performance to me, to a certain extent. I mean, he did make great throws. His throw to Alshon Jeffrey, the first touchdown of the game, that was a great throw. He made pretty good decisions, but it's clear to me in watching him play, he is a bit of a system quarterback. Like, he is benefiting tremendously by the system in which he's in. Time and time again, he's given 1 or 2 options on either side of the football field, and he makes the appropriate throw. I never really see him move to his 3rd or 4th read, so I think a lot of it has to do with Doug Peterson and the system in which he has him running, which is great. I just say that to say, Okay, if you think you're going to be the Cleveland Browns and you're going to add Nick Foles and he's going to be good for you, I'm saying hold on. I think Nick Foles can do well in this system. I think a lot of quarterbacks can do well in this system, but I'm saying I'm not sure how great he is as a quarterback still, and I don't think he'd do well elsewhere. But I've always contended, I don't know why people looked at Nick Foles and said, oh my God, he's going to come in, he's going to do awful. I mean, he is clearly one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league. This is a guy that threw 7 touchdowns against the Oakland Raiders in the past. This guy can play. He was a starting quarterback in a decent one for about a year and a half, right? He's a better backup quarterback than Matt Castle, for God's sake. So I always felt Nick Foles could win. I think he could take them this far. But again, I look at this Eagles team, and there was a huge flip that happened where you had Nick Foles that came in and started, didn't do great against the Oakland Raiders and whatnot. But I look at that bye week, okay? The bye week for the first week of the playoffs, the wild card round in which the Eagles were out, they didn't play that week because they had the bye week. That's where things changed to me for this Eagles football team. That's where they made the adjustments. That's where they did the things that they needed to do. They made this system more friendly for Nick Foles, and you saw them really leap from there and really end up being a great offense by the end of these playoffs. Now, their first playoff game in the division round wasn't great, but their second one was great, and this one certainly was great, and that just shows the power of this coaching staff. And again, Doug Peterson. Cannot give enough credit to Doug Peterson. What a system he has in place here in Philadelphia. So again, Nick Foles is the MVP. He deserves to be MVP. He played great. I'm acknowledging that, but I'm also saying if you're Cleveland and you're going to trade for this guy, you're in trouble because he's not going to do that well for you. I do think he is starter level, I would say, but he's not one of the better starting quarterbacks in the league. He will be one of the worst, and I wouldn't do it. Go somewhere else. Trust me on that. He was doing a lot of system stuff today, but he was doing it well. Look at the running game for the Eagles. It was fantastic. LeGarrette Blount, Jay Ajayi, they were getting consistent runs for the most part, right? I mean, they had like a number of 3-yard runs, but they also had some big runs, some 20-plus yard runs that you liked as well. But the Eagles, they really wanted to throw the ball today. We saw that they were aggressive. So the run game was inconsistent in how much they ran it, but when they ran it well. Wide receivers for the Eagles, look, Alshon Jeffrey made some plays early, faded late. You saw why, he didn't work out with the Chicago Bears. They couldn't put up with this nonsense. I think for you, he's fine, though, because his thing is, he only had 750 receiving yards this year. People are looking at Alshon Jeffrey saying he was such a great acquisition. I don't know about that. The good thing for you, though, is you have 5 targets, right? You have him, you have Zach Ertz, you have Nelson Aguilar, so you're not completely relying upon him like the Bears were to do everything. When you're telling him, hey, play this specific role, whenever you get open every now and then, we'll throw it to you and it'll be great. Okay, great. If you're relying upon him 24/7, he's gonna have some boneheaded plays where he puts the ball up for grabs and Duron Harmon comes down with it. I'm not saying he played bad this game. I'm just saying, okay, he has his problems. Okay, I saw some people overreacting to Alshon Jeffrey in this game. He definitely has his problems. Only 700 receiving yards this year, but he's a good wide receiver. Okay. Nelson Aguilar, he made plays today. He was the best wide receiver today for this Philadelphia Eagles football team. He was making plays. Even he had a drop, which I did not love, but he was making plays. He played well, definitely caught 9 of his 11 targets. Corey Clement, running back for the Eagles, he had a great receiving day. Zach Ertz was consistent, getting first downs. Torrey Smith, not great, but he made enough plays, so you like that aspect for the Eagles. Defensively, they were a damn disaster, and if the Eagles would have lost this game, and I felt that's how it was trending in the fourth quarter early, I would have completely killed this defense, and I'm still going to kill them a bit, but luckily for them, they made the play to win the game at the end, right? Derek Barnett, he's the one that got the pressure on Tom Brady. He forced a fumble. You got to give credit to him, but I was absolutely aghast and shocked by the lack of play by the Philadelphia Eagles defense in this football game early and often. They were awful. I mean, they wouldn't even allow or force the Patriots to get into third down situations. They would let the Patriots get first downs on first and second downs. They would just go up the football field in 7 to 10 plays and score touchdowns. It was ridiculous how bad this Eagles defense was throughout the entire day. All the DBs, they deserve Fs. Almost every single one of them except for Malcolm Jenkins and Ronnie McLeod. They played well for the most part, right? They did their cleanup duties, and Jenkins, he did a nice job slowing down James White. But the cornerbacks and Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills and company, y'all were awful. I mean, honestly, I don't know if y'all should get rings. I honestly do not know if y'all even deserve to get the rings. Now, I'll say you will because you've been playing well up to this point, but Corey Graham, Jalen Mills, Ronald Darby, I don't know what y'all were doing in this game. Y'all were awful. The linebackers were struggling. They couldn't cover anybody. They couldn't do anything. Even the run defense was not strong at all. You would see the Patriots run 5 yards. What? This is the Eagles rushing defense. They should be allowing 3 yards to carry it pretty much at most. That's what they've been doing the entire year. They struggled in this game, and I didn't understand why. But luckily, they made the play to win the game at the end. So Brandon Graham, right, he forced a fumble. Got to give credit to him. And Derek Barnett recovered it. Got to give credit to both of them. They did a great job by the end of the game. We move on to the New England Patriots now, and what happened for the New England Patriots. Okay, Tom Brady, right? So he fumbled at the end, and you can blame him for the loss if you want. But the guy played great, man. 28 of 48, 500 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. I was talking about how bad the Eagles defense was. The Patriots defense was even worse. Although I think it's close, but the Patriots defense was even worse. And that is who you should blame in this game to me, period. I don't want to blame anyone else. Yes, he fumbled late, and that sucks. He's delivered you 5 Super Bowls. I think he's going to be all right. I don't think that this loss should harness or temper the legacy of Tom Brady. I think his legacy should still be intact. I know some people argue otherwise. I think his legacy should still be as strong, maybe even stronger. Okay, knowing that he put up 33 points in a Super Bowl and lost because his defense was so damn bad, right? I think that has to help his legacy. And when you consider him versus Bill Belichick, say maybe Tom Brady deserves a little more of the credit. Now, overall, I still think it is Belichick because, dear God, we've seen him win without Tom Brady, and you're just not going to win 5 Super Bowls in this league without a great head coach. Aaron Rodgers can't win Super Bowls, right? He only has 1. He can't win more despite being a great quarterback. Why? Because his coach ain't good enough, right? So I think Bill Belichick does, in general, deserve more of the credit, but you saw today, Brady was better than Belichick because Belichick could not get his defense to play. I know Matt Patricia has most of the, coordination duties defensively now for this football team, but ultimately Bill Belichick is the head of the football team, and he should have got his defense to step the hell up by the end of the game. He should have made some halftime adjustments, and he didn't. Okay, so I think this loss by the Patriots has to go on Belichick, Patricia, and this Patriots defense that was ass. They were awful today. I look at the running game, and they averaged 5.1 yards per carry. Again, I couldn't believe how bad the Eagles defense was today, especially against the run and the pass, right? They weren't able to get a pass rush. No one got a pass rush in this game. And by the way, the Patriots, y'all could have used Chandler Jones today. I mean, dear God, Chandler Jones had like 14, 15, 16 sacks this year. You could have used Chandler Jones this season, and you definitely could have used them today, as Trey Flowers was a no-show, and other people on this Patriots defense as well. But the running backs played well. Rex Burkhead, James White, they did their thing. Wide receivers, Danny Amendola, Chris Hogan, and Rob Gronkowski, all over 100 receiving yards. Great game by Gronk by the end of it. Didn't do much in the first half. Second half did so much. He was fantastic. Chris Hogan made plays consistently. And that's a lot of being Tom Brady there. I mean, Chris Hogan's not a great wide receiver. That's Tom Brady there. Danny Amendola doing his thing. So we all understood that. But man, the loss of Brandon Cooks, it did hurt a bit. I don't want anyone to say that it caused the Patriots to lose this game because, dude, they put up 33 points. I don't know how many drives you look at and you say, okay, they would have scored a touchdown on this drive if they would have had Brandon Cooks. Like, I just don't buy that. They probably would have been a little bit better, but I don't think enough to win this game. So I'm not buying that argument. But I knew it was going to be a big loss when Malcolm Jenkins took him out, and that was a legal hit, by the way. All right, Patriots defense, Patrick Chung, he was making the most plays. Devin McCourty, they did their thing. But look, the Patriots front seven is just weak, man. They can't get pressure. Trey Flowers is their best pass rusher, and he did nothing today. You saw why they're missing Chandler Jones, and they won a Super Bowl without him, so that's fine, I understand. But they could have used Chandler Jones today. Dante Hightower, they're missing him due to injury. And this Patriots front seven, it just ain't strong, man. Malcolm Brown, he's able to make plays, yes, but I didn't see him today. You look at other players on this Patriots front seven, the linebackers, they've always been bad. Calvin Noy's not a good linebacker in this league. I mean, we've been talking about that for years. They're using him decently well, but the guy's not good. Trust me on that. Landon Roberts, he's all right, but he didn't make enough plays for me today. So this Patriots front seven, that's who I look at, and I say, man, they struggle. The cornerbacks, so they benched Malcolm Butler in this game, and I don't know what happened. I think Malcolm Butler, he must have went right up to Bill Belichick and told him to go F himself, okay, or something, because I can't believe Malcolm Butler Mayfield did not play, and yes, if he played, this result could be different. That's a player that I look at and I say, okay, if he played, this result could be different because there are way too many plays given up by Eric Rowe and company for this Patriots cornerback room. Stephon Gilmore played well. I didn't see him allow almost anything, but man, Eric Rowe struggled in this football game. He was a big problem, and I can't believe they didn't have Malcolm Butler out there making plays. So the ridiculous, oh my God, look, the commentators in this game were awful. I cannot believe Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels going on and on and on about Zach Ertz's touchdown, saying that they thought it was an incomplete pass. Y'all are senile old men, okay? I don't know how you do not see that this is a clear touchdown, dude. He caught the ball 3 steps, lunged, physically lunged, made a football move by lunging into the end zone. A clear touchdown. I even saw and heard Al Michaels on one play. It was a clear 2nd and 1. Actually, so it was like a 1st and 10. It was a 9-yard run or catch. Clear 2nd and 1. Al Michaels was like, well, that's going to be 1st and goal. What are you watching? Okay, these two men need to start contemplating retirement. And Chris Collinsworth just retired from, one part of football, but I think he needs to consider another one. Somebody get Tony Romo and Jim Nantz on the Super Bowl again. Right? Hopefully CBS, and I know they are now that I think about it, they're doing it next year. Thank God. They were awful. But by the way, that Zach Ertz play was definitely a touchdown. I don't want to hear otherwise. So in conclusion, okay, the Eagles got it done. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. Where do you go from here? Do you trade Nick Foles? Look, I wouldn't. Okay, I know it's alluring. You could get like a 2nd or 3rd round pick from some clown team out there. But who knows? Maybe Carson Wentz is going to have an injury problem. Maybe. But now what we know is Nick Foles does well in the system. And when you have this backup quarterback, man, I think you got to hold on to this guy. He got you a Super Bowl, man. I'd keep him around. But if they traded him, I won't blast you for it. I mean, I'd understand it. It's a business. I just wouldn't do it, right? I'd rather have my backup quarterback that I know can lead us to a freaking Super Bowl, dog. Other than that, hopefully you get Carson Wentz back healthy. He should be able to be ready for training camp and everything. And again, he should start over Nick Foles. I mean, people are starting that ridiculous conversation, this idea, this notion that Nick Foles is just as good as Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is overrated. Carson Wentz had 33 touchdowns in the first 13 games. The guy's good. Okay, the guy's good. You continue to play Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is the guy in Philadelphia, unless if he comes in next year and he's ass. If he's ass, okay, we can have a conversation. But I highly doubt that's going to be the case. And continue to do your thing, man. I trust the Eagles right now. Howie Roseman, Doug Peterson, whatever y'all want to do, just go ahead and do it. Y'all took the Eagles to the promised land in year 2. Okay, this is year 2 of this Eagles quote-unquote rebuild, and they got it done. They won the freaking Super Bowl, dog. Congratulations to y'all. And again, I had this for the New England Patriots. Again, when we went into this game, I said, this Patriots team isn't quite as good as y'all think it is. And they need to start being a little more open to getting really talented players. Like, they're okay with all these undrafted players, and they come in and they do well, but there is a lot of value in having a Chandler Jones who could have came up with a strip sack in this football game to win this football game. There is a lot of value in having really talented players. I think that's what Bill Belichick needs to realize, if anything. Like, he's a great head coach. They didn't get it done today, but they had an obvious lack of talent defensively. That has been evident all year, okay? It's been evident all year, and yes, they didn't allow many points to the Jaguars or the Titans, but when they went up against an Eagles team or a Panthers team or a Chiefs team that had superior offensive talent, you were gonna see problems, and you saw problems, and we saw problems. I want to see more talent defensively for this Patriots team. Go out in the first round, get you a big first round stud defensively, and I'd go out and try to sign one if you have the cap room too. But you're going to keep Tom Brady good. Go find a new backup quarterback because you keep training every single one of them that you have. And Brian Hoyer, I don't trust him. Other than that, whatever you want to do, it really doesn't matter. Look, I don't think this loss tarnishes the legacies of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. I still think they're both the greatest at their respective positions. I think Belichick is the greatest head coach. I think Tom Brady is the best quarterback ever, okay? I think these things are absolutely true. Today, they weren't good enough, right? Bill Belichick especially. Brady definitely was, but Bill Belichick and his team wasn't good enough. Make the improvements, and you could easily be back because the AFC We'll see what, off-season changes will be made, but the AFC should still be for the taking next season. But again, we shall see. So thus ends the 2017-18 NFL season. What are your thoughts on this game? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.